Good evening. Welcome to the Build Show, Army Vet. Tim, Ben the Builder. Thank you, Tim. Welcome back to the Build Show. I am actually trying to get this one off the bench so we can start Danielle's build. I was just wrapping this up. This is something I've actually been working on, not gonna lie, all day today. It's a build we did, it was build number 43. Hey, there's build number 43. But the customer wanted to get a 2 terabyte SSD instead of the 1 that was in it originally. So if anybody remembers this one, I had to load up a 2 terabyte in here. I've been trying to get this done all day so I can ship this out to Nicole, who ordered this on Saturday. And it's pretty much done. I just wanted to double check one more thing and then we can start on Danielle's build. But I was like, hey, let's go ahead and go live since we're already here, standing here. May as well. How's your evening, Army Vet? We'll get started on this build in just a moment, guys. But come on in. Get ready. Yeah, I know, we already have a built PC. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Start a build show and there's a PC already built. Oh, this is build number 43, so we're just finishing this one up. I had to put a 2 terabyte SSD in here for the sale to happen because I wanted 2 instead of 1. So we made that happen, and then we will get started on the other build for the evening. Hey, what's up, Dillbob12? Welcome to the Build Show. Just getting this one out of the way and we'll start. And then if it's not too late, we'll do a motherboard swap on another build that we had done a couple evenings ago where the motherboard didn't work. So let me pack this thing up. If anybody's ever interested in how we pack the computers, it's so much fun. This one I'm actually going to surprise Nicole, and I'm actually driving it out to them because they bought quite a few PCs from me now. And they also have a broken foot because they bought a PC that I built for a streamer. The streamer ended up selling the PC to them because they knew I built it, and it got damaged in the transition when they bought it from the streamer because they didn't package it very well. I don't know what happened, but the feet on the case got broken on an 011 Dynamic, and I reached out to Lian Lee, and Lian Lee actually sent me new replacement feet. So I have the replacement feet for them. So I'm gonna surprise them and fix the feet and deliver everything in person. I don't think Nicole knows that yet though, so don't tell her. What PC build? It's a shame. What a build! I know it's already built. Yeah, this is build number 43, and somebody ordered it on Saturday, but they selected a 2 terabyte option for the SSD, so I ended up pulling the 1 terabyte out and putting a 2 terabyte in, and I was just wrapping this up before the stream. So the bench to get it done because I was trying to get this done today. Been trying to do it all day. Had a million people in and out of here all day today. for Danielle's build. Thank you for the subscribe, Dilbob. The sub over there on the YouTube. Welcome to the Build Show, some giant idiot. Welcome back. Chat nerds, welcome back to the Build Show. For some reason I have 2 of these printed out. You're there watching? Awesome. Welcome to the Build Show, both of you. I actually wasn't sure if that was you or not. Is it picking up the music in the mic? It definitely should not be. Oh man, a lot of parts. I gotta move this behemoth. Oh. Had a lot of builds come in today. That's my nickname. I just hear the regular music that's always there. Awesome. That music is usually in my head too, so sorry. Okay, so we're gonna go through the build list and we'll get started on the build itself. I have no idea where this came from. Just throw that over there. All right, so the build that we're gonna be doing for Danielle tonight is a AIM-5 build. This is a Ryzen 7 7700X, which has got 8 cores, 16 threads, and a maximum boost of 5.4 gigahertz. So, excellent CPU. AIM-5 CPU to start with on an excellent motherboard, which is the Gigabyte B650 Gaming X AX V2. Pretty much everything you're gonna need out of a gaming PC on that board, as well as a 32 gigabyte kit of G.Skill Flare X5, which is 6000 megahertz CL36 timing. It's a great kit of memory for DDR5. For the CPU, we did grab another Thermalright AIM-5 contact frame, which is a V2, and the storage. We are going with a 2 terabyte M.2 NVMe SSD, which is a Gen 4 SSD by Silicon Power. It's the UD90. Then, to add to the gaming performance, we actually have a Swift 210 by XFX, which is the RX 7600 XT. 16 gigabyte, if you didn't notice that already, right here. It is a 16 gigabyte version of the 7600 XT. These still go for a pretty decent price, but a 7600 XT performance with a little bit of extra VRAM, it's really nice to have on the system. We're going to be powering the system with a 650 watt power supply. I do wish we got more power on that power supply now that I'm kind of looking at the build overall. Not saying that it's not bad for what's here. It's more than enough power for what's here. It's for the future upgrades. So that's one thing I probably would have changed if I had a little bit more budget, is maybe gone to a 750 or even an 850 just to give it a little bit wiggle room in the future. But if you come back to me and say, hey Ben, we want to do a graphics card upgrade, I'll swap that out for you. Because that was on me. Not telling you about that. Just charge you the difference. And then the Frozen Note 360 white addressable RGB cooler which is a 360 millimeter AIO. It's got three 120 millimeter PWM addressable RGB fans, around 1500 RPM, with a pump that runs around 3000 to 4000. I think it could actually get up to 5000 RPM, but it's a great inline pump cooler. And the case that we're going to be building in is the Montech Air 903 Max in white. And then we also have some white and pink extensions. And we'll be able to adjust the RGB to a pink to kind of provide an accent to those cables. So that is the build that we're going to be doing tonight. All right, let's get started, guys. We don't have all night. Should be a relatively easy build. I've done quite a few builds inside this case, so we're pretty well experienced with this case. The case also includes three 140 millimeter fans that are addressable RGB, as well as a rear white 140 millimeter fan. So there's plenty of airflow. The front is a mesh, side panel is glass. It's a super high airflow case. I don't think we'll need any of that. Oh, and then we also have a monitor, a keyboard, and a mouse kit here as well. So looking forward to seeing it all set up. Love it. I'll keep that in mind about the power supply whenever you want to upgrade. Yes, just let me know. Obviously, I'll swap it out. Because I try to be perfect on every build, and I think we were just trying to maximize the performance while trying to get a white and a pink look. And I might have gotten a little too carried away there and overlooked the power. It's not that the power supply is not enough for this PC. More than enough power. It's just going to be when you upgrade. Man, that music seems loud. Let's bring that down a little bit. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize how loud it was. Anyway, yes. Just let me know. I will fix the problem. Zoomity zoom. All right, so what we're going to do is install a CPU, the contact frame, and then the RAM and the SSD. So we'll start off with all of that important stuff. So we're going to start with our Ryzen 7 7700X. We're going to drop that into the socket, and then we're going to install our contact frame. We're not going to use the stock contact frame that's included with the motherboard. And those are the bazillion pins that you do not want to bend. Jeffrey C., welcome back to the Build Show. Hey man, I got a quick question. Is the Aurora's GeForce RTX 3060 Ti still a decent GPU? I know there are better for the price, but really like the look and only play World of Warcraft. I mean, if you're only playing World of Warcraft, 3060 Ti is going to do just fine if you're running at like 1080p, 1440p. It's gonna run fine. What's the price that you're looking at it? I guess the card that you're looking at, what's the price on it? Because I don't think I would spend over... I don't think I'd spend over like $250, $260 on a 3060 Ti. That's like the maximum I would spend today. Because at that point, you can go get a 4060 or a 7600 XT and run circles around it. Technically. $508? No. Nope. It's not. Go look on the used market if you can. You'll find a much better deal. But for $500, you can go get a 5070, which would definitely run circles around that card. Or find a used 4070, or get a 3070 Ti for half that price. Okay, cool. Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Yeah, that's just way too much for a 3060 Ti. What is that, an Amazon price or a Newegg price? Yeah, if you got a bigger one, I wouldn't mind if you just went a bigger right now, and I paid the difference. Yeah, I think I have one. I've got an 850 watt here, but that's like $100 and something dollars compared to the 50 something. It's like $56 more, I think. But I do have an 850 watt here. Yeah, Amazon. It matches the build? Yeah, but that price does not match. That price is way off. Check the used market and see if you can find one on like eBay, somewhere where you can return it, that will accept a return. That's what I would do. And if you can find one used on eBay, it'll probably be way less than that. Just make sure the seller has good reviews, and then make sure the seller also accepts returns. That way, if there is a problem, eBay will force it in your favor, right? That's like one of the major good things about eBay is they generally go into the buyer's favor, but it's usually a bad thing for the person selling, which is, you know, me thing. Gotcha. That's fine. That'll be plenty. Oh yeah, 850 watts is a pretty good number for this build. That's probably what I would have ended up with if I'd thought that through a little better. I bet my old record with that. I beat my old record without getting reset. Oh, what do you? A 15 stream streak. Holy smokes, Army Vet. Welcome back to the build show, sir. Again. Ant-Man, early start. This isn't really an early start. This is actually technically a late start. But I'll take it. I'll take that. Awesome, let's do it. All right, we can do that. I mean, you can always just do it when you, like I said, if you need to do the upgrade, you bring it back to me for the upgrades. I'll just swap out the difference for the 650 for you. You just have to remind me I said that. I might just stick up. I might just suck it up and get the ugly 4060. I was looking at the 7600 XT as well, but when I was looking stuff up, it says the RTX has better visuals. Yeah, I mean, the question is does World of Warcraft have RTX support, ray tracing support? RTX ray tracing, does it have ray tracing support? The answer is I don't know. I don't play World of Warcraft, so I couldn't tell you. If it does, 9 times out of 10 you don't even play with ray tracing enabled, especially if it's a multiplayer game. So Ray tracing is usually disabled by most people when they're playing a multiplayer game because frames per second equals W over eye candy. So, Onra, welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Ant-Man, welcome back to the Build Show. And can I just pay you the difference tomorrow? Yeah, no worries. No big deals. I've got the power supply here, thankfully, for an inventory build. So I've already got it. Why does it seem blurry? There you go. Stupid camera. Hey, what's up, Kyrell? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. And Loop over there on Kick. Welcome back to the Build Show. Altered to go. What's the cheapest 16 gig GPU worth the money? Well, altered to go, AMD was announcing the 9060 XT, which does have a 16 gigabyte version coming up. I do want to see the price of that, definitely. But right now, the best priced 16 gigabyte graphics card is going to be probably the 7600 XT, which is what we're putting in here today. Other than that, if you need something more heavy lifting, which is going to go past the best price per dollar, blah, blah, blah. Or it's a 6800 XT. I think that's 16, right? That one's 16. The 6800 XT and then the 5070 Ti, right? Or the 9070. The 9070, I think, is it. Like one of the $500-ish ones. So the visuals will be the same with the RX 7600 XT. I mean, the 6800 XT is probably going to be the best bang for your buck when it comes to, but it is a generation older. But that's, so it comes down to altered to go. What budget do you want a 16 gigabyte graphics card in? Why did that blow up? Finally early. No worries, man. It's Danielle in the chat. So Dillbob12 is Dylan and Danielle, both in the chat, yes. What games is she going to be playing? I don't know. Dillbob, what games are you guys going to be playing on the PC? When we have it done. I don't think it has much ray tracing. Yeah, I don't think it does either. Honestly, I don't know for sure though. But I think it would be pretty much the same, Jeffrey. Yeah. Minutes Samp, what's good, man? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. We're just building Danielle's PC over here. Build number 46 for the year. We're at number 46. Kind of a slow start. Hogwarts Legacy, The Sims, Red Dead 2. Nice. They're all good titles. Believe it or not, guys. Hold on, everybody. I hope everybody's sitting down. For me being a gamer and also a PC builder, the only time I've ever played Hogwarts Legacy is when I was testing it out on a PC. Benchmarking. I actually don't own it. It was a customer's PC that was in here. I haven't played it yet, so nobody ruined the game for me. One day, I will play it. Alright, so we've got our 32 gigs of G.Skill Flare X installed. We also managed to bump the mic. Hogwarts Legacy is a top 10 game all time. So good. I know. That's why I made sure everybody was sitting down before I said that. I haven't played it yet. Haven't gotten a chance to sit down and just soak a game in so long. It's been so long since I've done that. Thanks for helping me clear up. I'm gonna get the 7600 XT then, and then have an extra 8 gigs of VRAM. Yeah, try to get the 16 gig version, especially if you're gonna pay that. Well, hold on. If you're gonna spend like $500, hold on, Jeffrey, hold on. If $500 is what you were looking to spend, see if you can find a 9070, an RX 9070. I know those are gonna be difficult to find, but if you get a little bit of time to shop around, that would be ideal. In that price range, the 9070, the RX 9070, which is a 16 gig card as well, with way more performance at that price point. But if not, then yeah, the 7600 XT is going to be good. But just shop around for it before you pull the trigger. Hey, I need to play Hogwarts Legacy. I know, we all do. We should all have a Hogwarts day in Discord or something. Alright. So, next, we're going to install the 2TB M.2 NVMe Gen 4 SSD by Silicon Power, which is a very snappy drive. It's a really good drive for just gaming. I do need an M.2 screw. One of these guys. And there we have it. We got the CPU installed, the RAM installed, the contact frame installed for the CPU and the SSD. The cooler is going to use the stock brackets, so we don't have to do anything with that. We don't have any mounting brackets to deal with. It's super easy. We're going to move on to getting the case out. So we're going to give a nice zoom out, so we stop staring at all the weird stuff on my desk. Then we'll get the case out. Then you need to get a personal Uber delivery driver. I've got PTSD from Uber. Just kidding, I don't, but not happy that she's going to have DDR5 RAM and I still have DDR4. Well, I mean, Dylan, we'll have to fix that. What were the specs of your first ever gaming PC in power, Ben? So my first gaming PC, let me think on that for a second, because it's been a long time. The graphics card was 32 megabytes. The graphics card on my first PC was 32 megabytes, and it was a GeForce 2. Okay, 32 megabytes. It was a GeForce 2, and it was a PCI or AGP graphics card. And my CPU was a Socket K7, I think it was. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was an AMD processor. Somebody help me with that. I can't remember what it was. I definitely don't remember the motherboard. I think it was some Asus motherboard or something. What is Max doing? Max is down here snoozing, waiting for me to finish the build stream so I can go eat and so he can try to talk me into a bite or two. Crazy how time evolved computers I know. 32 megabytes. Yeah, that was my graphics card. 32 megs. And that played Medal of Honor Allied Assault, by the way. All right, so this is the Montech Air 903 Max. This is a case that I talk very highly of all the time when anybody's looking for a nice ATX mid-tower case with really good airflow that supports all modern hardware as well as some larger hardware. For ATX, this case is just the perfect performance to dollar. It's about $89. Sometimes you can find them for $79, $10 cheaper, but they come with 3 140mm fans on the front that are addressable RGB. They are PWM. They're already installed, which is nice for the builder. And then a 140mm PWM white or black, depending on what color you get on your case selection, because they come in white or black. It is not RGB on the back, but it is a white fan. All the cables are white except for the actual case cables, but the fan cables are at least white. Yay! Additionally, on the back side of this thing, it has a PWM fan hub and addressable RGB hub, which does synchronize to the motherboard. And it has its own SATA external power to power the hub, which saves the draw off of your ports, which is nice. So it makes, you know, plugging things in super easy and simple. Cable managing in this is very easy and simple. It's just all around a solid case. Like I said, the front is mesh, so it allows some really nice airflow. Especially that it's just a perforated metal mesh and no other obstacle in the way. This thing pulls a lot of air through very quickly. One of my favorite cases to build in, what it comes down to. What's for dinner today? We have grilled up some burgers. So we have burgers for tonight. It's a good price. I'm going to buy one. Yeah, I highly recommend these cases, Luke. I highly recommend them. Looks clean. Yeah, the white or the black are really clean. They're really well done. I really like them a lot. So you've probably seen me building these a few times. If you haven't, then you haven't hung around long enough. Because last year we built in probably at least 30 or 40 of these. Forgot to grab the hardware on the backside. All the hardware is organized, labeled, and everything. So if you look, each of the bags inside the bag for the screws are labeled as to what they are, which is nice. It's a nice touch, especially for a young builder starting, or a new builder. They're not going to be pizza burgers. No, we just went with regular burgers tonight. It is the efficient way of doing things on a Monday night after eating God knows what we ate yesterday. All sorts of things. But yes, pizza burgers are the boss. What's the brand of the case? It is Montech. So, can't really see it on the screen here, but it's Montech. M-O-N-T-E-C-H. Montech. What'd you have for dinner tonight, Ant-Man? I really want to take a trip to the USA just to visit a Micro Center. I wish they were worldwide company. I know. I feel bad that they aren't, because they're such a good place to walk into. But yeah, if you ever visit the US and you happen to accidentally visit a city with a Micro Center, I highly recommend taking a journey there. But be careful, any money that you have just magically disappears as soon as you walk through that door. And I mean, all of it. It's weird. I just walk in and poof, the money that was in my pocket just disappears. Tried explaining to my wife it's a problem, and Micro Center hasn't gotten back to me after I put in a support request regarding it. I don't know what to do. Mrs. Empower doesn't believe me. One day I'll have her walk in and have her see the effect in person. Ham, rice, and spinach had? Okay. Nice. Seems like a nice, healthy diet. They're great. They're too good. The Micro Centers are too good. Okay, so next, we're going to get our front panel connectors plugged in. We're going to get our EPS cables plugged in, and then we can install an AIO. We're going to go ahead and flip this around. We got USB-C here, USB 3 here, and the rest is down below. PWM there. Okay. Coming together? Hey, what's up, Jesse? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Steve Anderson, welcome back to the Build Show. Hello, I finished The Last of Us Part 2 last night. Nice. I still haven't even done any of The Last of Us. It's another game that I need to go play. Do you like Abby Arms, Steve? Oh boy. I have had a 3D printer, so I always end up buying way too much filament. Yeah, when I need or want. But I just have to buy it because it's sweet. Yeah, yeah, I could understand that. It's the same problem I have every time I go to the store, Micro Center. I buy parts I don't even need. No, I have not ever, I've never visited a Caribbean country. I have not. Maybe something I have to do sometime in the future. Has anyone used Ryzen 5 8400F? If so, how is the chip? So I don't really typically use those. I know they are cheaper in price. And maybe if they come down a little bit more in price, including like a B650 motherboard, maybe that becomes a budget series that we do. But I don't know how well the chips run. Ali, super cool to watch. Can't wait to see my order being made. I did actually just see that order come through. Are you the one that just submitted the order just before we started the stream? I did see an order come through. And I'm pretty sure that was you. 8 series are math for Ryzen. Thank you, Jesse, for answering that. Lower clock speeds because of the integrated GPU. I mean, yeah, it makes sense, but for a budget CPU, is it a good replacement for something like a Ryzen 5 AIM-4 CPU to get you actually on an AIM-5 socket? That would be kind of the trade-off. The 7500F is nice. If you can find one, yes. Those are difficult to find. I actually don't see them anywhere when I'm looking for parts. I've not seen a single 7500F in a while. So, difficult to see or find, should I say. Newegg might be the only place that you can find them under a business account. And you might be able to get them through a distributor, such as D&H, I think they're called. Maybe you can get them through there, but they would be like a tray CPU. Tyrell, I think we're just doing the one, but we might, if we have enough time, do the motherboard swap that I needed to do on the inventory build behind me. So we'd be technically unbuilding to rebuild a PC, if that counts. It's going to be a pain in the butt. No, I submitted it last week on the 15th, or rather paid for. Okay, yeah, then yours is coming. Let me go look, because I know an order just came through. I'm sorry, the names were close. Yeah, I think all we're waiting for, Ali, is the power supply. Everything else is here for your build. I just looked at it. We've got everything there except for the power supply. And Power, do you do this full-time, or is this a side hustle? So Menace, this was a side hustle until I got laid off about 2 months ago. Now it's kind of turning into my full-time job. I don't know yet. It's just kind of, we're just going with it right now. So, make it full-time. That would be great if it can pay all the bills. That's what really answers the question. Super exciting, yes. It would be probably in the next couple of build shows, Ellie. We're just waiting on that power supply. And I'll keep you posted. I'll send you a message at least the day of the build show, so you at least have an idea of what day it is. But, alright, so let's go ahead and, since we got all our front panel connectors in, we got to get our EPS cables installed, and thank goodness we are using cable extensions, because that means we don't have to get the power supply out right away. And we are doing white and pink for our cable extensions with white cable combs. Gonna look really nice. Oh man, sorry to hear that. It's all good. I kind of anticipated it because when I was first hired on the company I was working for, I did an assessment of the account that they hired me for, and it was in an IT position, IT support position. And I basically told them the account was upside down and they're never going to make profit on this account. There's just no way this is going to happen with the way it's set up. And I told them to walk away from this account the first week that I was there. And they wanted to try it, so we tried it out for about a year, and it never became profitable and amazing. You know, go figure. They dropped the customer and they dropped me. So... not my fault, but it is what it is. So now I'm just kind of deciding if I should go back to work or try this again full time, or the economy just isn't that great right now, which kind of sucks for, you know, gaming PCs. Food and mortgages are more important than gaming PCs. So it's tough where the economy is right now. I've noticed a significant drop in sales in builds since 2023. 2023, we did 723 builds. And that was the year I did go full-time. I spent a lot of money and time in marketing. And then 2024 rolled around and it just slowed down to a crawl. It definitely had something to do with the economy. You could feel it. Small businesses feel that. So right now it's not a full-time gig, technically. But maybe it is. I don't know. We'll see. I'd love to do it full-time. I'm very passionate about it. I enjoy it. Enjoy meeting all sorts of people. New people. I like taking people's visions and making it a reality, such as, let's build a white PC with some pink cables, and with this budget, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Oh yeah, AliExpress, you can get a 7500 off, yeah. 50 series are more in stock now, which is a good sign. I know, it's finally a good sign to see them in stock, because that means the craze, either the craze has slowed down or manufacturing sped up. I don't know. What I'd love to see is scalpers lose money. Although they already made their money in the beginning. Regardless, even if they lose money on the last card they have listed, they still made their money. We're just cable combing a 24 pin cable here. I promise I'm not just twiddling my thumbs under my microphone here. I'm just focused on getting all of these cables lined up. Which sometimes can be a challenge. Depending on how tired you are. Nice. Okay, so with that already done, we can move on to something like the AIO and get that installed. Before I forget, I'm going to swap out the power supply. So here's the 850 watt 80 plus gold by Thermaltake. It's a tough power GFA3 that we'll put in there instead of the 650. Love the combo. Yeah, it's gonna look really nice here with the cooler installed. Let's get that started. So here's the Frozen Note by Thermalright. This is a V2. So they had a first version and a second version, and I like the second version because the fans are facing the right direction. I think somebody over at Thermalright listened to one of my videos because I complain about that every time I built with a Thermalright cooler. I had to rotate the fans, which meant I unscrewed all the fans, rotated them, and re-screwed them down. And I was like, man, if you guys would just put the fans in the right way, for the tubes to the front of the case, that'd be super cool. And suddenly, it started happening. Hey there, big boy. Yeah, it's a big boy. 850 watts. Give you a little wiggle room in the future. And this is our 360 millimeter AIO that we're going to install. We got a bunch of twist ties to undo here. Twisty ties. Oh boy. Actually, it sounds like the name of a rock alternative band. Twisty Ties. And then what we're going to do is we are going to zip tie these together really quick. They're a little tip trick that we do with these AIOs when the cables are on the fans like this. Put the splitter in here real quick. Well. And we'll get a zip tie for this. But what we do is we pull them together like this, and it helps keep the fan, or the cables from the fans, from drooping down inward. And it also makes it a lot easier for us to pull the cables through the back of the case when we're sitting there trying to hold the AIO up before we mount it. A nice little tip. I guess we do. Oh, thanks for the follow. Hey, Sneaky. Sneaky, yes? Is that Sneaky, yes? Snake Eyes. Sorry. Ugh. Thank you for the follow, but if you type in build, exclamation point build, for the command, it'll spit out the specs of this PC that we're building. And I can also run through it here in just a moment. Let me just get this guy pulled through. But it's a AMD Ryzen 7 7700X with 32 gigs DDR5, 2TB M.2 NVMe Gen 4 SSD, Gigabyte B650 Gaming X AX V2 motherboard, and then a AMD Radeon RX 7600 XT 16GB version, along with a 850 watt power supply and a Thermalright Frozen Note liquid AIO cooler in a Montech 903 Max. And we also used a Thermalright contact frame for the socket, AM4 socket, or AM5 socket. It'll probably get the job done, but probably lower settings, not mid settings. The 1660 Super. It'll do all right. It'll play the game, but not on like any crazy settings. But 1080p mid settings probably would run it fine. But you'd probably be floating still around 60 FPS, so you're not going to get any like crazy FPS on that title with that card. Glad they listened. What's that? Love that combo. That's a big boy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, looks good. All right, so I'll finish putting the screws in for this AIO, and then we can flip it down on its back and finish the AIO block install over the top of the CPU. Then once we get that blocked, we can put a GPU in. And then do the power supply. Then do some cable management. And then fire this thing up. See what it looks like. You sell pre-builts? I do, yes. If you go to the website, which I think is just exclamation point website, you can check out some of the pre-builds there. The cheapest one I have is $550, and they aren't pre-built. Everything on the website is not pre-built. It is going to be build to order. So if you submit an order, you'll have it built live right here on the channel. So I'll build it live for you. It does take a couple extra days to do that, but it's always a fun experience, I feel like. I think most people enjoy it. Alright, so this is what's going to be over the top of the CPU. We're going to peel our peel. Stay. Put in our AIM 5, AIM 4 bracket, because they're the same. Loosen these nuts. Keep viewers on. Nice. Some giant idiot's lurking around here somewhere. I'm sure he'll love to use his banhammer powers. Loosen that one up just a little bit too loose. Okay. And then we're going to block out on the CPU like so. Little clamps that clamp the brackets that come with the motherboard. Stock brackets. You just clamp on, and then we tighten it down. We're just going to go back and forth a little bit here. A little bit there, and a little bit here, a little bit here, and then a little bit here. And then we're mounted. Slightly angled here, so I gotta loosen it up. 1 second. Much better. And there we have our AIO installed. Nice. Steve Anderson, when you talk about PBO, I wish they would say what it is in the BIOS. That annoys me when I find out what it is and set it up. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Late, but I'm here. What's up, Tat? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. What is the minimum CPU for gaming in 2025? You could easily run like an Intel i3 12th generation processor or a AMD Ryzen 5 4500 and still have a pretty good enjoyable experience. That's actually the lowest I go for any of the gaming PCs that I built. That's sick. It's coming together. It's coming together. Yes, the fans are the right way. And Tat, a wizard is never late, but he arrives precisely when he means to. Or wait, no. A wizard is never late, nor is he early. Dang it, I knew I'd find a way to screw it up. Alright, so 7600 XT time, 16 gigabytes. Let's go. Yeah, thanks, Army Vet. I tried, okay? Don't forget to say that. There is one, actually, on this one. Thank you, Tat, for coming in late and telling me that. Is under AMD overclocking, and they should just say that. Okay. I didn't even think of that. I love the 210 Swift. It is the best budget card, in my opinion. Yes, I agree. They are great. Great cards. For the price. They are good cards. Onra, hey Ben, did you started to set up the pump at 80% after Jay's 2 cents vid? No. They're so close. But yes, I should start doing that. The performance between the two were so close. It's almost hard for me to say it makes any difference. There's a small difference, very small difference. But yes, I can start doing that. Onera. It was a good video, good to see. It makes sense because the liquid has more time to travel across the cooler, which means it's going to cool the liquid more effectively when it slows the liquid down. So yes, I would probably start doing that. I've honestly not sent very many builds out, so I'm stuck in this loop. I love the shirt. Live in Michigan. Yeah. The Miguel Cabrera shirt back from like 2012. It's an older Tigers color. Detroit Tigers. It's always fun watching Cabrera. So you're such a class clown, a team clown. Nice. Let's just pick him up and throw him on the ground again. I'm just curious because I don't know. I should go with 80 or I'll probably switch to 80. He made a good couple of points. But I mean, the differences are so minuscule, small, that it wouldn't. It's really, there really is no right answer between the two, in my opinion. But it makes sense to go to 80% for the info he shared. Yes, 80% probably is what you should go with. Ah. Well, come on out, because we can't do it that way. Here we are. I do like how they're cut out like this to allow some really good airflow off of the vents, the fins, the XFX cards. They look nice. Looking pretty good. Let's get our power supply in here. Then we'll do some cable management. I'm sorry, some cable magic, and then we'll get this thing fired up. That look, case looks familiar. Wonder why. Cute build, thank you. Thank you. It's looking pretty good. Kind of glad this 850 watt showed up today. And it's gone. So this case has enough basement for me to stuff all the cables in here. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. What's up, Young Joe? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. All AMD builds are nice. Thanks. What's the GPU on this build? This is a 7600 XT 16 gigabyte. 16 gigabyte card. Decent 1440p gaming, yeah. What's up, Macau? Vibing, yeah. We're vibing in here. Just almost done with this build. Almost there. We just got to get through the power supply and some cable management, then we're firing this thing up. Oops. Is the 7600 better than the 4060? I think the 7600 XT in some cases can be better than the 4060. The DLSS 3.0 on the 4060 is probably better than the FSR, but I've seen a lot of cases where FSR is getting better. So Windows 10 versus Windows 11, I'd say go Windows 11. And very nice 7 stream streak, sir. But the Windows 11 is going to be a better option because Windows 10 is hitting end of life here very soon, and Microsoft will eventually force you to Windows 11. It'll stop updates for Windows 10 and force you to 11 eventually. So Windows 11 is probably the better option if you're debating between the two. Just so you don't have to go through the process of dealing with an upgrade later, which isn't that painful, but still something you had to have to deal with. Okay. Interesting. There's no right or right or wrong answer there. Ben, flat packs are basically apps or programs. What? Do you have any idea what flat pack is? No, I have no idea what it is. Googling flat packs. Flat packs are better than EXEs, and I have no idea what a flat pack is, or unless you're talking like a file extension or. Ben, what's up? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, my heads are down. I'm building. Ubuntu 2.25 is out. Nice. Dual boot Linux. Steve Anders says, I dual boot Linux at distro hop. Yes, that's cool. Mikal, I wish I had more money. I put ATX in my, I put an ITX in my 1000D build Ben's doing. Okay. I want to learn Linux. Linux is isn't that difficult. I mean, you could probably learn it pretty easily. Just drop another drive into your computer and dual boot, just like Steve does. Mugshot vlogs. I watch in silence, but I love the content. Thanks for showing us PC noobs how to build one. Yeah, no problem. It is not that difficult to do. Definitely, watch a few and see if you can get the hang of it. Snake Eyes reminding me to hydrate. Where is my drink? I don't think my drink's over here. I'll have to go grab it. Hold on a second. I want my Windows XP back. Yeah, XP's not coming back anymore. Microsoft sucks for doing that, I know. Your most played game on Steam? Probably PUBG. PUBG is probably my most played. We'd have to go look to double check that though. Owner of Ben, do you think if I put a GPU support on top of an SSD, I could damage the SSD? GPU support on top of an SSD. Are you talking about like the SSD is a 2.5 inch at the bottom of the case and then you're putting a peg on it? Onra? Danielle, can you please ask Ben to use the AMD stock cooler, please? Man, you're just never going to let that go. I actually just had somebody come here and pick up a bunch of stock coolers from me. So it was nice to see 6 of the 500 that I own here in a box go. So 6 of them have made it to a new home and are going to be used in builds. I hope that makes you feel a little bit better, Ant-Man. Knowing that 6 of them are going to be used in a build somewhere. Alright. This is gonna be tough. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get through this, guys. I've had way worse people management moments. Nope. Get your little tushy back in there, sir. Just gonna run this down here. We're gonna make that take a hard left. Run it down here. Bye, I have to go. Oh, nice. I was gonna locate that drink, I'm sorry. Apologies. I'm just so excited to get this one done. Gotcha, I've been liking that game so far. You love PUBG? Yeah, PUBG's a pretty good. Armor 3, nice. Yeah, 2.5-inch SSD, I have it installed. Just aside to my GPU, I put the support bracket on top of the SSD to hold on, or to hold the GPU. Could I damage it? I don't think so. I mean, there's no moving parts in there. I don't really think it'll hurt it. As long as it's not, like, flexing the SSD to the point where it looks like it's squishing anything on the inside. You try Arma Reforger? I've never tried it. I've actually, not tried that one. Laters, yes, have a good night, Snake Eyes. Thank you for joining and hanging out, sir. And thank you for becoming a follower. In the terminal, type sudo apt update to get the most recent updates. And then if it says you have upgrades, type sudo apt upgrade, and your updates will start after you give your password. Here's my hydration right now. Not gonna lie, I feel like I have a hangover, although I drank nothing yesterday, which is super disappointing. I drank nothing last night, I drank nothing today, and somehow I feel like I have a hangover. So Coke is the remedy as of right now. And it's Coke Zero. It's Coke Zero. Calm down. Best I can do right now. Get your little tushy under there. Nobody wants to see you popping out. All right. There's our cable management. About as clean as it's gonna get. I think I did a pretty exceptional job. Gotta fix these GPU cables. Not too shabby. Okay. You guys ready to see this thing fired up? Yeah, I did. I got there. I'll put that on later. All right, who's ready to push this power button? Beautiful management, Ben. Thank you. Thank you. Looks great to me. Awesome. Bubblegum cables, pretty much. Bubblegum. A good way to learn Linux cheap is to get a Raspberry Pi 4 or 5 to learn. That's a good idea. It's actually an excellent idea, Steve. Just above the SSD? Okay. Yeah, Onra. I don't think it'll harm it as long as it's not like any crazy weight on it. But still, Bob 12, let us know when you're ready. Turn it on. All right. I just happened to be leaning on the power button. not too shabby. Looking pretty cool. Do 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 do. Love it. Danielle, that looks so good. These cables are just bothering me. I'm probably gonna undo them and redo them. They're bothering me. Rear fan RGB not on. Some John idiot. That is just a regular 140 millimeter white non-RGB fan. No RGB on the rear fan. If I had a 140 that was RGB and white, I would put it back there, but I don't have one here. But it's something it can always upgrade. Comes with the case, just not RGB. I don't know why they don't just make an RGB fan back there for the case. It would give the case 10 more points in my book. That's literally the only thing you can complain about in this case. is that rear fan is not RGB. Simplicity, I'll never overbuy again. Yeah. Does the LCD screen work? There's no LCD screen, but it did post. That really looks good. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. That looks really good. Thank you. Is there a way to make the fans just pink and white, or are they always close those colors? No, once we get the software installed, which is going to be the Gigabyte Control Center, Dill Bob, we'll be able to adjust the RGB to, I think there's a mode where we can shift between pink and white. There might be. But if not, you can either make them pink or white. Great looking computer there. Thank you. Yeah, LCD screen on the AIO. Can I watch TV on it? That's just an infinity mirror, Ant-Man. That is not an actual screen. Oh, that's neato. Yeah. Yep. Kirby theme. They're pretty close. Comes with the case. Yeah. Yeah, what Tat? Tat knows. He's built this one before. Wish NZXT board would let me control RGB with their software. Oh. They don't let you control the RGB with their software? Even with the cam software? It's gonna match perfect. Awesome. Oh, it has to be the NZXT hub? That's retarded. I did not know that about the NZXT boards. That's actually really good to know. I don't remember the last time I built with an NZXT board, but it was a long time ago. I think back with Intel 10th gen. Way back when. It was 5 generations ago now. Yep, we just gotta get Windows installed and get all the drivers installed, get the BIOS installed. I'll probably do that tonight. It's already 10:30. I could do the other one, but save it for tomorrow. We gotta have some content for tomorrow. We got some inventory builds to do. So we'll build a couple. We'll do a couple tomorrow. Get started earlier. Tuesday build show. Get started earlier. We'll tear apart that other PC with the bad motherboard, put a new motherboard in it, and then we'll build another inventory build. Hopefully not with a bad motherboard. And then tomorrow, this one, Dylan and Danielle, This one will be ready for you guys at some point tomorrow, so I'll let you guys know when it's all set and ready to go. Ron over on Facebook, thank you for the like. Same with you, Jesse. Just realized my logos are sideways in both my daughters on the AIO. Nice. I don't know if this is right side up actually, but it's the way I put them in. I like the tubes either on the side or the bottom, but with AMD you can only put them on the side with this cooler. Yours is right? Oh, I didn't know. Well, that was just by luck. That. It just seemed like it should go in that way. Awesome. Do you have ballpark time or not really? Probably afternoon, late afternoon. Because I also test every single PC. So I got to run a memory test, a CPU test, and a graphic test on it. And then I would like to run, but these are things that I'll squeeze out if I have to squeeze some time out of it. The SSD test, just to make sure it's reading and writing good and all that jazz. But I test pretty much everything in there. So late afternoonish. Also, did you bring comb of shame for Micro Center guy for selling a bird? Oh yeah, I actually haven't ran into him. Even though I've been there twice last week, or 3 times last week actually. I was there 3 times last week. But I am going back there tomorrow at some point. I gotta go run and grab a power supply. Awesome. You have a that works. Whatever you gotta do, yeah. It should be ready. I'm gonna say around 6 p.m. We'll say, just for safe. But I will let you know when it is actually ready for pickup, so you're not like sitting around wondering if you show up, if it's done. I'll let you know when it's ready, but it'll be ready tomorrow. He's hiding from you. Yeah, he was hiding from me, actually. Works with us, awesome. What's up, Honey? Homie. Honey, what's up, homie? Over on the Kick Anarchy. How you doing, man? Have I got a story to tell you? Oh boy. What do you got? Anarchy over on Kick has a pretty interesting story. We're about an hour away from you also. All right, I'll keep that in mind. So when I'm wrapping it up, I'll kind of give you a heads up. Remember how my PC got destroyed? Yeah, I think so. I actually know quite a few people that have had destroyed PCs, a couple of which were from ex-girlfriends. Not kidding. Okay, well, after fighting back and forth with USPS, I'm assuming, right? No, it's not that guy. They were only willing to give me a 3070 Ti instead of my 6700 XT, and it was FedExed. It was FedEx. Okay. Oh, it was FedEx. Okay, gotcha. Well, I mean, 6700 XT isn't terrible compared to the 3070 Ti. Yeah, you do lose. Well, no, you don't. You actually gain VRAM. 3070 Ti is 8 gigs and the 6700 XT is 12. So you actually gained 4 gigs of VRAM. Oh, and instead of your 70... Okay, sorry. I had it reversed in my head. Sorry. I got you. So he had the 6700 XT and they gave him a 3070 Ti instead. I mean, it's actually, I think the better card is the 3070 Ti between the 3070 Ti and the 6700 XT. I think the 3070 Ti is the better card, even though it has less VRAM. It actually should outperform it a little bit. So today I found out that they're found out what they're giving me. Okay. Well, decided to bypass the claim so they can get me the PC back. Okay. Actually, it is the shipping dude. Thought it was somebody else for some reason in my head. But 6900 XT WLC edition. Okay. LC edition. Okay. That's pretty cool. Gotcha. This was the Zydex build? Anarchy? I can't remember, because we've had a few people come in here and tell us stories, horror stories about pre-builds getting messed up by other shippers from other PC builders. Yes, Zydex, okay. Yes, it's the Zydex build. D4 1 mesh screen case. Oh, nice. Well, it's nice that they're actually doing something. I mean, it's been, what, a couple of weeks since the last time you were in here talking about it? So they decided to bypass the claims so they can get me a PC back, yeah. And a Meg X570 Unify motherboard, because that's probably all they can find. The X570s are really hard to get now, or starting to get really hard to get. Well, that's pretty cool. I'm glad they're getting it resolved for you, finally. Yeah, you lose a little bit of VRAM, but I think the 3070 Ti is going to be a better card than the 6700 XT in the long run. It's a massive GPU upgrade. Oh, so they're getting you a 6900. Okay, yeah. That's right. You said they're getting you a 6900 XT, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that would be a pretty big upgrade from the 6700 XT. Yeah, and definitely a massive upgrade on the motherboard there. So he's getting out of the hassle a 69 XT coming from the 6700 XT, and he's getting also a MSI Meg X570 Unify motherboard. Let's just hope it all works and it gets there in one piece. Damn, I'm late. Reflex action. Welcome back to the build show. Yeah, we just finished the build. Good night. Love you. Go to bed. Good night. One of the little misses. I was thinking about it, but I'm tired. I feel like I have a hangover today, and I did not drink anything yesterday, and I did not drink anything today. I have no idea how I feel like this. I think I'm just burnt out. So I went from mid-tier of the platform to the upper end so amps. Yeah, let's just hope it gets there in one piece and it works for you. He's doing a Max 5090 build that will be actually coming up here very soon. The case for the 5090 build and the Threadripper build that's upcoming, we're waiting on the case, and the case is arriving tomorrow, and we're doing some glass etching on the case, so I got to drive the glass out to get it etched, because I have a local shop that does really good etching, And they also have a big enough machine to fit the panels that we're going to be using, which is an XL EATX case. So I've got to get the glass etched over there. Ben, who makes fans that look NZXT? Well, I mean, the Montech fans kind of look like the NZXT style. Yeah, and Be Quiet. Yeah, some Giant 88. That's actually a really good one. Besides Montech, trying to find some that just has the ring LED. I mean, yeah, Be Quiet. Light Wings would be a very excellent choice, similar to NZXT. Wife has a 240, and it's not strong enough for her CPU. What CPU is she running? I see you're using a Thermalright cooler. Yeah, this is a 360 millimeter AIO running on a 7700X AMD. She's got a 5800 XT, so now I need to get her a 360 red. It's either that or you can go air-cooled with the Thermalright Peerless Assassin, which would be the cheapest upgrade for the cooler. But yeah, so 360 millimeter would help. And some better thermal paste. Do you think PC part prices will go down in 2 months, or should I get all of my parts now? That's really hard to predict, but I've got a feeling come, you know, end of summer, they're probably going to come down. Things will be more available and prices will probably come down a bit. But I can't predict that. So you cannot use that as advice. That is opinion only. $55 isn't bad, yeah. Yeah, you could get the Frozen Note for a pretty good price on Amazon. They've got a couple of different coolers as well. You can even get one with a screen on it. Software's a little bit meh. You know, I forgot about those. I am so dumb. I have 3 of those in my build. Yeah, take a look at the Be Quiet fans. Those are nice. So the thermals right now, here, let me go to the BIOS. I bet we're going to probably be in the low 30s at an idle, just in the BIOS. That's kind of what you were thinking also? Yeah. I mean, that's just typical. Every year kind of does the same thing. So right now the CPU temps are actually 27 Celsius with this cooler. It's a really, really good, strong cooler. I love those AIO. My daughter sit at 27 Celsius idle, yeah, on a 12900K, and she likes to get warm. Yeah, the 12900K does like to get a little warm. Yeah, I was wondering how it is under a full load. Oh, it handles it. 45 at an idle, 65, 70 full load. Yeah, it'll bring those temps down quite a bit. If you go with this cooler, at the 360 version, you'd probably get about 32 at an idle, and full load temps will probably be in low 60s. Low 50 or mid 50s, low 60s, somewhere around there. I'm just glad I was able to get an XFX 9070 XT. Yeah, it's a great card. 54 while playing Warzone. Yeah, that's kind of what I was seeing. Yeah, I need $45. We all need $45. I'm not making bazillions of dollars. Amazon gave me 10. Oh, nice. That's pretty good. I think in total, I make like $30 off the streams per month, maybe. You'd think, you know, YouTube would you'd make a lot more money, but it takes a lot of work to get there, where you're making real money on YouTube. And I don't anticipate that happening anytime soon. At the pace I'm going. I'm just going with the flow, you know? Maybe the channel will blow up. I don't know. Go with the flow. Now my kid system worries you. What's wrong with the kid system? He's got a 60-ish idle, 65, 70 decent. It's not that bad. I mean, the 60 idle is a little weird. Holy crap, Be Quiet Lightwings prices have went up a lot. $30 a fan. I think I paid $12 each for mine. Yeah, you probably got it on a sale, Tat. When will Max get a PC? I don't think he's ever going to own one. He doesn't even care about screens. Like, if I put anything on a screen, he just disregards the screen. And it's a 3700X. Yeah, well, those ran warm. The first, second, and third generation of AMDs were pretty hot. They ran hot. Yeah, don't drop his radiator. Maybe give it a good clean and give it some thermal. How long has the AIO been running on his cooler? I don't think the Prism cooler will do any better than what you already have in there. 2 years? Yeah, it might be time to maybe put some fresh paste on that, and that might help. And check the pump speed and make sure the pump's running at 80% at least. Okay, yeah, the 240. And maybe that'll help. I don't know. It's like 90-ish, I think. It's like a 90-ish. The pump. Oh, okay. Yeah, then that should be alright. According to Jay's 2 cents, 80% is the optimum speed. So, we'll start following Jay's 2 cents that he shared. He had some pretty good points in that video if you want to look it up on his channel. It's actually in the Discord if you're already in the Discord. Somebody dropped it in updates or news or something. I think that was the channel that it was dropped in, right, Onra? Wait, what? Pump at 80%? Yeah, Jay's 2 cents did a pretty good video on why you should run it at 80%. Jay can suck it. Jeez. Oh, Tat. I don't know, he had some pretty good points in there, Tat. That doesn't sound right. I know, it's... Well, if you think about it, 100% moves the liquid faster across the radiator, 80% slows the liquid down so that it cools. It has more time going through the radiator to cool more. So think about that. So 100% might be too fast, pushing the liquid through the radiator too fast, and it's not cooling quite as efficiently. But if you look at 80% and 100% differences on his chart, they're very, 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 very close in performance. It's minuscule differences. He only promotes what makes some money, yeah. It's an old NZXT pump. Okay, yeah. I don't know, I'd have to, I guess, know more about the cooler anarchy. But, yeah, I mean, the 3700X typically ran warm, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. As long as it's not hitting, like, upper 80s and 90s under load, you should be alright. Some giant idiot. The video got posted in the Discord channel, I think, under news or announcements or something like that. I think it was one of those channels. If you wanted to check that video out. He did have a couple of pretty good points in there, but I think ultimately what it is it slows the liquid down so that the liquid can travel across the radiator slower to cool better. So maybe it's cooling the liquid more effectively. I think that's what he was trying to say. Simple. Whereas 100% pushes the liquid faster across the radiator and it doesn't have the opportunity or as long of an opportunity to cool through the fins. I don't think I have privs. Should have privs. Did he say which AIO cooler or brand pump this works on? I don't remember what he was testing on. I'd have to go back and look at the video. But I think it was just ASIC, just typical AIOs. I don't know. I don't think he tested like multiple. I'll go look for it and I'll tag or repost it in the general. But with that being said, guys, I am actually done for the night. I am done building. I'm done with the day. We are gonna come back tomorrow and do another build stream. We'll replace the motherboard. We'll start off by replacing the motherboard on that other build with the bad motherboard. So I got the motherboard replacement here. And then we'll do an inventory build. And we'll go from there. So tomorrow we'll be live. I'm going to try to get on a little earlier than normal because I don't want to go super late. I'm trying to get back into a better sleep schedule. Just because I think this hangover feeling that has it's a hangover without actually drinking is because of my terrible sleep schedule lately. So right on, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, Danielle and Dylan, and look forward to getting this one over to you guys. Thank you everybody for joining. We'll see you tomorrow night. Happy building. Have a good night, guys. Good night, Tat. We'll see you tomorrow, Anarchy. No problem. Have a good night.